Good morning, I'm Adam Sexton. School choice and the use of public dollars to fund private education has been one of the most intensely debated policies at the State House over the last several years. This last week, the governor signed into law legislation that removes means testing for education freedom accounts and steps up to universal access. Joining us this morning to discuss where the state is headed with EFAs are two of the most outspoken elected officials on this issue, Senator Victoria Sullivan of Manchester, a Republican, and Representative David Luno of Hopkinton, a Democrat. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning. And happy Father's Day.
Right, yeah, you as well.
You both.
All right. And so, Senator Sullivan, let's start with you.
Okay.
Why is this good policy?
This is great policy. We've been fighting for this for so long. When I was in the House in 2017, 2018, we were fighting for education savings accounts at that time. Finally, under the leadership of the late, great Dick Hinch, he sponsored the Education Freedom Accounts in 20, which got passed in 2021. And since that time, the program has grown in popularity. It's helped so many families. But every year, the Democrats try to chip away at it. They try to put in means testing every single year. So for families that have qualified for EFAs, if they're in before this bill was signed, 350% of the federal poverty line or below were families that qualified for it. And they were able to stay there without reapplying every single year as far as the income goes. The Democrats kept trying to change that, and we really wanted to have children have education security. So you shouldn't be able to find the school that fits you and suits you and that you love, and then every year your parents have to worry if they can sustain that for you. So this way, that worry is taken away, and we've got education security for so many families in New Hampshire now.
Representative, from your perspective, why is this bad policy?
Right. So first of all, you know, I was really disappointed that the governor decided to sign this bill in secret. She sent out a notice to media, embargoed the information, and she is full aware that voters in cities and towns across the state this spring passed resolutions opposed to expanding the voucher program. Even places that are really conservative, like the town of Ware, passed those resolutions. But she went ahead with it. She went ahead with signing it anyway, without the ability to face her constituents. The reason this program went into effect, just like Senator Sullivan was saying, was basically as a public assistance program back in 2021 for families earning less than $110,000 a year. Right now, with the bill just signed, it opens that to the wealthiest families across the state to pay private school tuition costs, travel expenses, and even in some cases ski trips. So yeah, I think it's bad policy.
Senator, we'll give you a chance to respond.
I would just like to respond to that. First of all, I want to thank Governor Ayotte for standing behind this legislation. She ran on education freedom expansion, and to say that it was somehow under some clouds of darkness or in the dark of the night. We had hearings in the Senate. We had several hearings in the House. It went through Finance. It went through Division 2. It was a very open and public process. We had a public signing. You were there. Nothing was done underhandedly or to keep this from the public. You reported on it through different phases of it. I mean, it was very known to the public. This is something that Governor Ayotte ran on. It's something I ran on. It's something my opponent wanted to defund. And I think the results of the election speak volumes. And as far as these warrant articles go, I had read some of them, and the way they were worded, it's so disingenuous. Actually reading that, I probably wouldn't have supported it, but it's not the facts of what EFAs are, and they are not vouchers. Nobody is handed a check. These are education savings accounts where parents have an account where they actually have to submit invoices, and those invoices are reimbursed by the Children's Scholarship Fund through ClassWallet. So you can see that there's nothing mailed to the house. It's not some get-rich quick scheme. It's only about $5,000 a year per child, and that's just the state funding that is going to now follow the child. And the wealthy families have just been raked through the coals through this whole process, and I think it's so disrespectful to them, because a lot of these families not only pay full tuition when they attend a private school, but they pay for other children's tuitions. So if you attend a private school, even with the Education Freedom Accounts, it doesn't cover full tuition. But wealthy families donate tens of thousands of dollars to keep the private schools going, and that money goes directly to help fill the gap for the kids that don't have the money to pay for the full ride.
Representative.
Wow. So what I'm hearing from constituents is they want lower property taxes and good schools. And what we've been seeing from the Republicans in the legislature are sweetheart deals for companies like Apple, Amazon, and Walmart. We're seeing big tax breaks for big investors. And now we're seeing vouchers for the wealthiest families to pay for just about anything. When we look at what this program is going to cost over the next 10 years, we're approaching $1 billion. And that's $1 billion that won't be going to cities, towns, and schools, and it's $1 billion that is going to be plowed right on top of our property taxes. So that's what I'm hearing, and that's why this program really should be stopped in its tracks.
I'm sorry that that's what you're hearing, because that's completely false. None of that information is true. We got the numbers from the Josiah Bartlett Center, who did a deep dive into these numbers. The numbers that had been floated around included kids that their families don't live in New Hampshire, but they attend boarding schools here. They don't qualify for this program. And the Josiah Bartlett Center came out and said that the first 2 years of this program, it will cost roughly $19 million. So but you want to talk about property taxes, we have a steadily declining enrollment in our public schools, and every single town and city across this state has increased their funding, their local funding for public schools, even though there's a decreased enrollment. If you really want to roll back property taxes, take a look at the local school budgets, find out why they are employing so many non-teaching staff, and find out where all that money is going.
No,
I'll give you a quick response to another question.
Yeah. If we really want to see meaningful property tax relief, we need to put in place equitable and fair school funding reform, and that's something that we're now coming on 30 years post the Claremont decision, and nothing's been done to really move that forward and do right for our schools. But when we take a look at how our public school kids do in the state, they're top 5 in the country, some of the best student outcomes in the country. Problem is, it's just not happening everywhere, and where there are towns that are struggling under high property taxes like Claremont and Berlin and Pittsfield, and the state needs to do more to make sure that it's putting the state's money into these towns, and not to places like many places on the seacoast and the Lakes region get somewhere close to $40,000 per student in state funding. We need to do a much better job of that.
Senator, in other states, Arizona, for instance, they opened this to everyone, and they had kind of a fiscal issue to deal with. Are there guarantees that's not going to happen here?
Well, sure. So first of all, the state has increased funding for public schools repeatedly, and we're funding it more now than we ever have. So that part again isn't factual. But yes, there are guardrails on this program. The House put in some guardrails I wouldn't necessarily have agreed with, because I'd like to see it, open up to more families faster. But for the first year, we can only have up to 10,000 kids. There's currently 5,000 students in the program, so that allows it to double. After the first year, then it can increase. When it gets to 90% of that 10,000, it can bump up another 25%. So there are guardrails on this. If we get to a point where we don't hit that cap for 2 years, that goes away. We've sort of saturated the program, and we expect incremental increases. But of course, there are guardrails on it. It's fiscally responsible. And so, as I said, the state funds will follow the child. That frees up the local property taxes. They're not paying for that child to be educated.
Representative, is this a fiscal threat?
So it's easy to do the math. We've got over 5,000 kids in the program right now. It's costing about $30 million a year. Doubling it, as the senator said, to 10,000 would bring it to $60 million a year. 25% more in each year would bring that to $90 million dollars. And so now, over a 10-year period, you're starting to approach $1 billion outlay, and that's what's there in terms of the cost. Now, back in January of 2023, on this very program, A Close-Up, the Commissioner of Education said that when you asked him if there was any fraud in the program, and he said, no, I'm satisfied there's no fraud in the program. But 6 months later, in June 2023, an in-house audit done by our Department of Education found that 25% of the audit sample had errors. Now, this is the type of thing that has also happened in the state of Arizona, as Yusuf just mentioned, and has brought Arizona to the brink of bankruptcy.
Representative, I do want to ask a question about benefit, right? You know, that there are some kids who do seem to benefit from this program. Would it be appropriate to end it when we do see, even though it's not a huge migration of kids from public to private school, there are a lot of kids who are already in private school accessing these, but for those who did make that jump and found a better opportunity, how is this a bad thing?
So a lot of the kids that have made, so very few kids have jumped from public to private. I mean, we're talking about 5% of the kids. 95% were already in public or homeschool situations. So of the ones that jumped in, many have jumped back. In fact, some never even enter the program at all. They intend to enter, and then before the public school year begins in September, they go, oh, you know what? I'm going to stay with my friends and teachers and stay in public school.
And Senator, 30 seconds there, and we got to wrap it up.
I hope that this is fact-checked. But so the only reason that the EFAs show that not as many, like there weren't a lot of kids that entered private schools is because a lot of those qualified for the education tax credit scholarships. So they were there on a scholarship. The EFAs were also something they qualified for. So when both programs were available, they utilized both programs. They were still kids that were in 350% of the federal poverty guideline or below, and they qualified for the first program. That is the only reason why.
All right, Senator, Representative, thanks so much for your time and perspective this morning on Close Up.
You got it. Thanks, Adam.
All right, we'll be right back with the candidate leaving the Democratic Party to make an independent run for governor. Stay with us.